What's up, people? I'm George, and this is the Collecting News, the show where I give you my top picks for this week in collecting. So another week has gone by. Lots of statues and collectibles have released this week. Now, last week, what we saw was smaller scale pieces. This week, there's an abundance of big-ass statues, which makes me seriously happy because I like talking about those things. That's what I like to collect. So we're going to definitely talk about that. But before we get into that, just want to share with you a couple things that have happened this week. So first up, yesterday I was on the channel JDs Comics. They have a show on there called Stranger Things, which is hosted by JD and TJ. Now, I was put onto this show by Chad from 90 Miles from Comics, and he contacted me and he's like, George, would you like to be on a show called Stranger Things? And I was like, hell yeah. I've been on YouTube this whole time. I'm getting noticed by Netflix now. Of course, bro, I want to be on Stranger Things. And then he was like, no, George. He's like, Stranger Things is a channel. It's a show on this channel called JD's Comic. So I checked it out. It's a dope show. I figured, let me be on this. They want to talk about statues, you know. So basically, we had an hour-long conversation yesterday about statues, how to get into them, smaller scale pieces, bigger scale pieces, you know, the cost of these things, that kind of thing. So it was a real good episode for those of you guys who are just getting into statue collecting. If you're interested in knowing some information about that, you should definitely check out that episode. I'm going to leave a link for that in the description below. So definitely go hit that up. Subscribe to their channel. They're both real cool dudes. And I had a great time last night. So thanks again, guys, if you're watching the show, for having me on that show. All right, second news is that we've hit 7,000 subscribers here on the MCE channel, and we're really pumped about that. We have a giveaway going on right now. So the rules are, actually, more importantly, what you're going to get, right? That's what you really want to know. So we are doing two different giveaways. The first giveaway is courtesy of Junior Statue Collector, and that is a Kotobukiya Thor Jane Foster statue. And it's pretty awesome. We also are giving away an Iron Studios Hulkbuster, and that's courtesy of Collector Zone. So I'm not going to, trouble you with all of the details of what you got to do. But what I am going to do is I'm going to leave a link in the description so you guys can go check out that video. It's really short. Just go check it out. You're going to get to find out what is Collector Zone, what they're all about. These guys are some really awesome guys. And all the rules and details about entering the contest. So hit that link if you're interested in joining that contest. And we're going to be giving that away. The contest ends on March 25th. And that's when we'll announce who the winner is. All right? So check that out. All right, and lastly, for those of you guys checking out my badass shirt right here, just letting you all know that the Marvelous merch page is now open. I put shirts up there that I designed, and you guys can take and pick them up. Sometimes they're highly limited, like this one right here. You can't get this one anymore. But I do take and put other ones there as well for you guys to take a look at. So definitely, please check out that page. You know, I take time to take and put these designs together, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy them and like them and then want to pick up the shirt. It helps the channel out, and we really appreciate the support. So thank you guys, and make sure you check out that page. But that's it for the announcements. Let's get into what came out this week. All right, boom, right off the bat, Sideshow's hitting us with the Logo Maquette statue that comes out tomorrow. I got to admit, this thing's kind of cool. You know, there are some things about it that I feel are a little weird, but it's a badass looking statue in my opinion overall, especially if you're a fan of Lobo. He has this whole rock star appeal to it. You know, it's like I see this and I just like, I want to rock! Turn it down, you say. Well, all I gotta say to you is time and time again to say no. No. You know, that kind of shit. It looks cool. You know, so he's there with this like guitar machine gun is like the best way for me to put there. You know, it's got these colored keys on it. Kind of reminds me of Guitar Hero a little bit in that sense. That's kind of a weird choice, right? But you know, it's got cool tones to it as far as the color. At least here in the prototype, it looks real neat. The regular portrait to me looks a lot like, you know, what I expect Lobo to look like. He's got the cigar in his mouth and the whole thing and that devious smile. So I dig that. The exclusive edition has this portrait of him, you know, that looks kind of like Kiss, in my opinion. It's like the best way that I could put that. It has a very rock star look to it. Tongues all hanging out and everything. This one, I mean, it's cool in that it's funny. You know, that's what I get when I see it. I kind of laugh when I see that. The hair looks a little bit weird on that. It's like almost like dreads, you know, but it almost is molded together. I don't know. There's a little bit of a strange appeal to that one. It's like, I like it, but something's a little off. In my opinion, I kind of prefer the regular portrait on this case. I like the pose. I think the gun is funny as hell, in my opinion. So, to me, it kind of delivers in that sense. So, this is a maquette. So if you guys don't know what Maquette is basically Sideshow telling you that this is going to cost some money. So just interchange, everything after the M in Maquette and just replace that with ONEY, because that's exactly what you're going to spend on something like this. Maquettes usually cost a little bit more money because they are more complicated to make, according to what Sideshow says. So this one is running $750 for the exclusive, $730 for the collector's edition. They didn't say what the edition size would be, so I don't know what that is yet. But overall, I think it's actually kind of fun and cool piece. I'm interested to hear what you guys would have to say about this one. Those of you guys who are big DC fans, there was the previous Lobo premium format statue, which is sick. It's still a badass statue in my opinion, if you can get a hold of that. And that one actually has this other statue of dog that you could put with it. I think that's something that's maybe missing with this one. But it's to me, this is a fun piece. This is like for the guy who likes Lobo a lot and has a bunch of Lobo statues. It's probably just another one to throw on the shelf there to make you laugh. So overall, I kind of dig it. So that's why it's on my list. And then XM Studios is in the game this week with the pre-order of their Doctor Octopus statue. Now, Doc Ock is a character that I know a lot of Spider-Man fans have been waiting for. There's not very many statues of this character, and I don't think there's any statues of him in larger scale. So I think this is the first time that you're going to see this villain in a larger scale statue. Overall, I like the statue a lot. There's a lot of cool things about it. It reminds me of Spider-Man 2 in a sense, since he's hanging off the building like that and he's got the money bag and everything. So that reminds me of that very much. There is the really nice color. I like the background with the building itself and then the money kind of falling out in the purse. So I think that's also pretty dope. One of the optional portraits, because XM Studios doesn't really do exclusive. This is basically what you're going to get with it. Looks like a classic portrait for Doc Ock. So you have that kind of bowl style haircut, and then the classic goggles and that gritting teeth. Now I'm not too much of a fan of this portrait. That gritting teeth, to me makes it look like he's trying to like push out something, or he squeezed out a fart. Or something else.
Man, I had my shit washed in, bro, big time.
Sorry to disturb you with that imagery, but okay. Back to the statue, right? Overall, I think the statue is really cool. So this one here is a Marvel licensed piece. So because it's Marvel licensed, it's not available worldwide. But I do know some guys that could probably hook you up with it. So if you're interested in getting this piece, shoot me an email and I'll let you guys know. All right, so next on my list is Primal Studios. See, I told you all of the big heavy hitters are here this week. So Primal Studios did something unusual. They dropped a Batman statue. Now, I know that's not really unusual for Primal Studios, but this Primal Studios statue is a 1/5 scale statue, and that's very unusual for them, because usually they're noted for dropping these huge, humongous 1/3 scale statues. So this one is a Batman Incorporated statue. I saw this one at Winter Wonder Festival. It's really dope in that it has lots of detail. All the stuff that I've come to expect from Primal Studios, they put into this statue, so I think that it still looks really cool. My issue with the statue really is that it's a 1/5 scale statue, and we still have a museum pose. I feel like when you move into the smaller scales, you have opportunity to create something a little more dynamic, and because they're smaller, they won't take up as much space as, for the bigger pieces. So while I understand that where a 1/3 scale has to be kind of museum, when you come into the smaller scale, I feel like you miss out if you don't do something a little more dynamic. But, that's my personal taste. I know some people like the museum poses, and, this may be the piece for you if that's the case. So I think there's a lot of cool detail. The exclusive comes with this angry gritting teeth portrait. It also has swap out hands where you can have him holding the Batarang. So I think that's kind of cool. Nice detail in the utility belt, and I like the cape flow. So overall, I think the statue looks really, really good. I just feel like I wish it was a little bit more dynamic. They don't have an edition size on this yet. It's $449. Right now, it's only available at Primal Studios site. And while we're on that note, there's a lot of Primal Studios statues recently that have not yet dropped on Sideshow site, which I'm curious about. I don't understand what's going on there. We have shot an email over to Sideshow, and they told us that they are going to be getting these pieces, but they just don't have an answer as to when it's going to come out. So keep a close eye for that. For those of us in the United States, and you want to get it, Sideshow is going to be your one stop for this, so that you're not paying those hefty fees from Japan. But yeah, overall, I think it's still a really cool piece. So let me know in the comments if you're going to be getting this one. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. You know, are you happy that we're finally getting a 1/5 scale statue for Batman, at least? So for those of you guys who are space conscious, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know. All right, and lastly, my favorite this week is Iron Studios Hawkman. This is a 1/3 scale statue. This is a huge statue. This thing is really, really big. But I think this thing is badass for two reasons. Number one, comes with two options for him to have closed wings or open wings. And I think that's kind of neat. Or you can buy it where you have both the open wings and the closed wings. And the other is that there's not too many statues of Hawkman. And for a guy that I'm not necessarily a fan of, it's not like when I think about DC, Hawkman is not the guy that I'm like, yes, that's the guy that I want to get a statue for. They made a really cool looking version of Hawkman that's got me being a little fanboy about it. You know, I'm like, damn, this thing is pretty cool. Lots of nice detail in the statue. I mean, it's really, really cool. I like the pose. It's museum, so it's not really, you know, overly dynamic, but it has a stoic look about him. He looks strong. I like that about the statue. Love the way the wings look. I like that he's holding that staff there. The base looks really cool with that hawk gargoyle-ish looking thing at the bottom. And I think that's cool. Really nice look to the muscles and everything. I think this overall, it's a really cool statue. So, you know, I'm really interested to see. I'm really hoping that this is going to be at San Diego Comic-Con so I can see it in person. But, man, I really dig this. So I think of their 1/3 scale statues, this is probably my second favorite right after Batman. So, I think a really nice job. I know DC fans are really happy about this is because, you know, like I said, Hawkman doesn't come around too often. So, this is your opportunity to get him. So, right now, there's two ways to get him. He's not yet available on Sideshow's site. So, if you guys are waiting for him on Sideshow, you're going to probably have to wait a little bit longer. Iron Studios has him up for $1,199. And that's for the closed wing version. Same price for the open wing version. Or you can get a combination of the two, and that's $1,499. Now, that's before shipping. So, Big Bad Toy Store also has it. And they're selling it for $1,349 for the closed wing version. And then it's, for the combo, it's $1,684.99. And then for the open wing version, it's the same price as the closed wing version. The cool thing about Big Bad Toy Store is they already have included the price of shipping in it. So shipping from them is $4. So that's the difference of price there. So more than likely when you get it from Sideshow or from Iron Studios, it's probably going to balance itself out with Big Bad Toy Stores. So these are your options to get it if you have... if you're loyal to Big Bad Toy Store, you can go over them and pick it up right now. It's available. Or, or if you got those points that you want to hold on to and spend on this piece, which at that cost, I could see, you wanted to do that. Sideshow Collectibles is eventually going to get it. So just, be a little patient and it'll be there soon. All right, guys, that's all I got this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you guys thought of the statues that I dropped on you guys this week. Let me know if I missed one that you think should have made the list. What do you guys think about all this stuff? Let me know in the comments, all right, guys? I'm interested to hear your feedback. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. Ding that bell to become part of the notification squad. You can catch all of our videos at mcecentral.com. I'm going to be coming back at you with another collecting news episode next week. They come out on Wednesday nights. So definitely check me out next week. And until next time, keep it marvelous.